It's all about magic tonight, little man. Magic like the way you appeared at our house.
I said you'll have fun, and I won't disappoint.
Welcome, fellow Kiss fans. Welcome to It's All for You Demons. Celebrating the fun of being a Kiss fan tonight is more of a philosophy I've kind of always had as a Kiss collector. Even in my teenage years, you know, Danny and I have been talking a lot about 1989, 1990, and just those fun years of diving into all of this magic. And that's kind of where we are in our Kiss fandom right now, is a lot of that early core fun that we would have on Friday nights. Welcome to the Wax Night House. It's Friday night, and that's what I kind of try to do with these videos, is I try to make it seem like you and I are friends in high school, and you're coming over to my house to talk Kiss and to talk fun. So let's Hotface. My Hotface tonight is not Kiss. It is a band that Danny turned me on to. He texted me last night and he said, "Hey, I'm going to send you a video that I need you to sit down and watch the entire video." And he said, at first, you won't be into it. You'll think, what in the hell is Dan sending me? And he said, it's only 9 minutes long. Just sit there and watch the entire thing. And I did, and I was absolutely blown away by the band Turnstile. The video is a combination of 4 songs. The title of this is Turnstile Love Connection. And he even said, I promise you, when you watch the entire clip of videos, you'll feel like a sense of both like excitement for new music and calm. Even though it's not new music, it came out like 3 years ago. But we're old people, so we're not hip to the scene. So we're just discovering this band who just had an album come out last week. So they have a brand new record, but what he sent me was old. And man, I was blown away. And I did feel a sense of calm, and I felt a sense of excitement for new music, and that's always fun to do. If you have 9 minutes of your night, check this video out, and you might get into it. They're like a cross of hardcore punk, Blink-182, but yet they have some songs that are downright 1980 Duran Duran songs. So much fun. My second Hotface of the week is Jaws. And I told you last week that our Hotface was the second Marvel comic book. Kind of a summer thing we always do. Jaws, Close Encounters, The Burbs. But this comic is very much a summer thing we always do. And I love the fact that the Jaws 2 comic book has an ad for said second Kiss comic book on the back. I need to get a new version of this Jaws. It's kind of sun bleached. Sat in the comic book shop facing a window. Too long, but summer Hotface. And I saw Jaws with the Kansas City Symphony a couple weeks ago. That was amazing. What better movie to see a symphony play, right? And my last, not really Hotface, but just comment, because if you're coming over to my house and hanging out, we're going to talk Kiss, right? Everyone in the world is sharing this Joe Jonas cast as Paul Stanley Kiss movie thing. And I just don't really give a crap about the Kiss movie. I just don't. What's your Hotface? What are your comments on that? Leave them below, and let's wax. So a little philosophy of mine is, as a Kiss collector, I felt this way ever since I was a teenager. And it's very weird to say this. It's kind of cheesy to say. But I always felt, the minute Danny introduced me to Kiss, I felt like this is all happening for a reason. I didn't know what that reason was, but I felt like this is mine. This is mine. I get that feeling to this day whenever I listen to Mr. Make-Believe off of Gene's solo album. Like, this thing is mine. This thing is special, and it's all mine. And it's very weird. And maybe it's not weird, because you probably feel this too. There's something about this band that just resonates with your own life, and your own dreams and your own aspirations, and you kind of just feel a kinship to this band that is only yours. It's like sacred. And that's a beautiful thing. I know for a fact that everyone watching this video, you love Kiss. Otherwise you probably wouldn't be watching this video. And I know you feel that. It's that special sacred thing just between you and Kiss. And you can't explain it to anyone, and it doesn't make sense to anyone, but it's ours. And that's a beautiful thing.
So they'll never get the spiritual side of it.
Hey, you're not going to start chanting or anything, are you?
I might. It's a state of mind. It's that place where you lose yourself and you find yourself.
And ever since I was young, freshman in high school, I've always felt like good things come from being a Kiss fan. Case in point, a couple weeks ago I told you I was watching two posters, and they were both from Australia, same seller. Long story short, shipping from Australia is extremely high, and this seller, it wasn't that bad. I was so hot-faced on these two posters. One was the pinball poster from the Dynasty merch form, but it was the blacklight version, and the other was the Four-Face solo album merch form poster. Now I know that Dynasty pinball poster is rare, but I was watching this poster for like days, almost an entire week, and it remained at like $56. And so the day before its end, I was like, I'm gonna put my max bid down, and I was like, this is more than I want to spend, but I'm gonna put my max bid down, and I did. And I felt pretty darn good about it. And I was outbid almost instantly. And then I watched, because I already reached my max. I wasn't going to go any higher than that. So I watched the auction end. And that thing ended at over $600 US. Yikes! $600 for a poster. And so I was just kind of bummed, and I didn't even want the solo face poster. I was like, man, if that thing jumped to $600, that solo collage poster is just gonna go sky high. And in my grief, in my depression, I was just searching eBay, and I found another seller in the US selling the solo face poster, and they had it to make an offer. And so I made an offer that I felt was good. It was low, but I made it, and I was like, you know, they're not going to pick this up. But then, as my wife always says, if they want to make a sale, they'll pick it up. You know, sometimes she hits slumps in eBay, and she's like, I'm just accepting any offer because I just want to sell some stuff. And I was fingers crossed this seller would feel the same. And they did. So here is the Boutwell 78 solo merch form poster, all framed up and ready to go. Now I truly only need one, and we know who that one is, and we know how difficult he is. Now, I will say, this feels pretty damn good to have in the collection because, like I said, there's just something about these posters makes me feel what it would have felt like to be a kid with those solo merch forms and be plunking down your $2.50, good lord, plunking down your 10 quarters for a Kiss poster and having these on your wall, and just going in to 1979 with these posters on your wall, and you're part of the Kiss Army and you're building your collection. And that's kind of where this whole video is going tonight, is we're all part of this fandom. We're all building our collection. We're all part of this magic. And like I said, whether your collection is one cassette tape or one magazine, I've been there. We've all been there. And that alone is magical and fun because it goes back to that sacred thing. You have that one magazine and a love for this band, nobody can fuck with you. Nobody. And that is the magic of life. That is the magic of being a Kiss fan, and that is the fun of being a Kiss fan. Gosh dang, I love this band. I really do. Even though I said I'm not excited for the new movie, I love this band. And I love each one of you. So let's end this magical discussion with a little rock and roll all night and journal every day. The Kiss Journal for Friday, June 13th. Happy Friday the 13th to everyone. This is the only Friday the 13th in 2025, so I hope you all are watching a Friday the 13th movie tonight. My favorites, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. 3 probably my all-time favorite. Although I do think Potato Sack Jason is scarier than Hockey Mask Jason, but I love 3 when he finds the mask. I remember that from being a kid. Saw that on HBO over at Brett Parker's house. That harpoon scene literally scared the bejesus out of me. But I was little. June 13th, I checked the calendar. My wife's making carnitas on June 13th, so I'll be having carnitas and watching Friday the 13th. Let's wax and pray that date is in here, and it is. In your opinion, were the Mego dolls a good move or a shift in the wrong direction? What is your favorite doll of the 4? I don't think it was a move in the wrong direction, but I do think it opened the door to that. They can't blame anything but the merchandising for all the kids loving Kiss around Dynasty. And you know I love that. So, I don't think it was a move in the wrong direction, but like the Dazed and Confused kids in 1977, whenever these dolls came out, I'd be like, come on, give me a break. But to the little kids that were like 7 and 8 at that time, freaking fantastic. Just absolutely wonderful marketing, wonderful toys. The toys of the 70s were amazing anyway, so these are amazing. And they made toys for everything pop culture, from Cher to Sonny Bono to Chips to Kiss. And my favorite of the bunch, Ace, who I love his pants. The glittery pants, I love them. And of course, he was the last to show up. Imagine that. Thank you for hanging with us and waxing a little rock and roll nostalgia with us here in the Wax Night house. I'm going to be completely transparent with you because you all are my friends. Pee-wee's really slowing down, so kind of tough to navigate that at times, and you know, it's a thing with dogs, you have to deal with it, but keep us in your thoughts, be good to your babies, spay, neuter, microchip, take care, be safe, we will talk to you soon.